Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Guten Abend. Hello, Demons Have Zoid Pinhead and Dave Hapatel. Welcome. Sadly, Jerry can't be with us tonight. He's just got home and is now starving to get dinner because he did stuff with Walad. So, whatever that means. But be not afraid, I was warned in advance. So I prepared glass. Food is very important. We mustn't let Jerry get too thin. And if he's anything like I am, I get really, really grumpy when I'm hungry. I don't like being hungry. That usually goes very bad very fast. So, how are you lot doing? Still waiting for certain people that I've seen tonight already being online somewhere else on the interwebs. Like Annie from Bad Squiddo. So technically they should be around somewhere sooner or later. Oh, that's nice. Put the bottle where I absolutely will kick it when I move. Dieting. You know, I think diets as a way to motivate yourself might be a good thing, but I don't think they work. You just need to lessen intake and move more. That's the equation. And at a certain age, it stops working at all. So unless you're dangerously obese, I wouldn't bother. But you do you, as long as you feel healthy, or your wife has told you to. So, I'm thinking I'm going to do a bit of hobby tonight. You're welcome to join in and ask weird stuff. Dave was hoping that after his gallbladder was removed, I would struggle with processing fat. So far, so good. So I'm guessing the gallbladder removal has helped you in losing weight or keeping your weight, which is a way to do stuff. Let me see if I can. Hello, Jill. Just talking about you. Let's see if this works still. Yes. Hello. Now, I, for my personal entertainment, need a bit more light. And maybe not as much light. Can we? Yes, this is better. Yes, I was just talking about that. I'd seen you and Nick on Annie's stream. While having no gallstones running around potentially hurting you is a good thing. So what I'm going to build tonight, let's see if I can make this come over without ruining everything. This is the Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone box my very best friend gifted me to my 50th birthday, unknowing to me. And now I'm going to build these minis. I already washed them because there seem to be some kind of flexible resin. Let's see how this turns out. I'm not sure if this material really handles scraping well, but we'll see. If you've got any suggestions on how to work with this material, if you have worked with the Cyberpunk Red stuff before, let me know. I'm not sure if that's Sirecast. Could be. I don't know. It feels a wee bit rubbery, but not as bad as some Sirecast miniatures I had. This is to Now to find the perfect peg holes, I think. Yeah, these two. Where's my drill? Luckily, so far, no flash Zoipenheit. Hello, Ebok Kebab. Just a few dents and bobs that I might want to remove. And the Wonky Goblin is here. Hello. This is Crusher from the Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone box. And that's all I know. The instructions are a wee bit, at least what the build portion goes, not very intuitive. Let's see if that works. Clipping was easy. And since these are already cleaned, I guess super gluing won't be an issue. Let's see how... Well, they don't fit well. I was afraid of that. So maybe not use the pegs then. That's a shame. That would have given them much more stability. Well, can't be helped. Off you go. Off you go. I'm pretty sure they experimented with some stuff on here because the little tags here, I'm pretty sure you can't see this on camera. They have a little date on there, and the date ranges from 2020 to 23, so 3 years of various production dates. I could use just ones, but and I would. Oh, this is very rubbery. But my 2.5mm drill is too small, and I held the bigger 3mm drill against it, and that's too big, so there won't be much holding them either way. But I might try that on the next mini, which hasn't been cut from the knobs. Are you not doing any hobby? I'm still not very sure on how and what I will do for the painting competition. Mountains is such a wide what do you call it, topic. Let's see if I can hide those holes. Well, partially. Ancient Germans. Zoidpenhead is cleaning. Demon's Up is reading some Thunderbolt manga. Where's my drill bit? Let's see if the next miniature will work better. So 2.5 is a tad too small. 3mm it is then. Oh, I need to swap the inner workings as well. Hello, Oliscany. Long time to see. I hope your part of the world isn't as temperature-wise challenged as my current region is. Or to put it in Jerry's words, it's fucking hot. Now, where are the clip-off points for the extra pieces? Yeah, the more I work with this, the more I get the impression this is not regular resin, but Cyocast. But then again, it's just a gaming piece and not actually a miniature, at least in my book currently, because it's a board game. That is book. Jill's painting dwarves. Yes, those would fit fine in the mountain theme. Unless they're space dwarves. So no scraping. This material actually needs to be cut. But it cuts rather nice, I'd say. Let's see if this works. More or less. Good enough. I'm also going to need to find some reference material on how these buggers are painted up. Since those are two different teams that come in the box, I need to make them quite distinct, I feel, so that we can keep our gaming pieces apart. Yes, Jerry is in his bucket and enjoying his succulent meal. I say succulent, I don't know what he's having. Or if he even is at home by now. I think he should be, judging by experience, but you never know. Hello, Crispin! What message? Oh, that message. Yeah. Though I feel that would be a terrible war crime against centipedes. Now, does this fit? Did they make a good job? Yeah, they did. Nice. First one done. On to the next. Pieces. More pieces. Hello, Taris. Yes, Jerry's not here. Jerry eating, enjoying footy potentially. Having a beverage. I'm building the two teams that come with Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. I might need to use my imagination, and you might want to hold on to your pants, or I just might look up other people's stuff on the internet. What about that? That could potentially also work, I guess. Now let's see if this drill is big enough and if the one slot trick shot pony does work. If so, it's a great thing to do. Oh no. The plastic is too thick. Yes, starting revolutions is my jam. Who would have thought? Give me my snippets. Why do I have the lens so far down? You don't need to have that lens. Up you go. Poing! I'm not sure if that sound is picked up by the microphone, but the last 2 pegs I cut just went poing! I'm not sure what they hit, but they hit something. I really like gel super glue. It's just much more fun to work with, in my opinion. Yeah, Wonky Goblin, you're pretty right on that point. But then again, it's a game, so I'm guessing someone must have by now done some painting. I think I saw some artwork in the rulebook, but as I've gotten this box literally on Friday last week, and I just yesterday opened up the box, yeah. Still looking for details. Mostly, yeah. Black, red, and silver, maybe some blues. So one of these factions looks like it's very firearms heavy, and the other one is more like Asian sword fighty type. So there might be some hints on how to paint them. Hello Dutch, welcome. I would like to look that up if true, but the rulebook is in the box and the miniatures are on the box, currently sorted so that I have an easier job assembling them. But I have to say, for gaming board pieces or sidecars minis, those details are really nice. As a Screwgate, you go away. No, he doesn't want to go away. Hurricane season. That sounds fun, I guess. So, which arm is supposed to go on there? The one with the big knife. I've seen the cards. I haven't unpacked them completely yet, so there is a high possibility I just ignored the artwork so far. But I'm pretty sure there will be some inspiration somewhere. And if all else fails, I'm going to grab my copy of Cyberpunk 2020 and look inside there. Though, come to think of it, I think artwork in that book is all black and white. So, that's not going to help. You could just watch Altered Carbon. Yeah, that's pretty true. Or maybe these factions also appear on the Cyberpunk 2077 video game? Question mark? Then that could be a way to get color references or inspirations. I gotta say, the fitting of the arms so far is pretty nice. Well, those in the starter set are all the ones I need. That's an angry boy. Hello. Oh, this seems like that could fit both, potentially. Yes. I'm gonna try that. I'm going to be totally annoyed if it doesn't fit. Where did you hear that, Wonky Goblin? I haven't heard anything related to that anywhere. I'm pretty sure there would be a good reason, money, for them to use some kind of standard product, but then again, I don't think they will. I'd be highly surprised. Is it a rumor somewhere from the YouTubes or from somewhere on the web? Where did you get that? Demon Sub has the colors on the inside of his eyelids. I'd go see a doctor if that's the case. Pretty sure that's not good for you. Yep, this one works. Now for the glue. Hello, Rowena Balio. They're the colors of a TV. Stay tuned. Hello, Nick. I'm building the Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. Jerry is having dinner by now, hopefully, and is recovering from doing gameplay with Wallad. Yes, Taurus, that's also true. I do make a mess. But it's my mess. A lovely mess. In our tightly scripted 30-minute show. Which would be over in about 4 minutes. Can you not imagine if I were actually to do these shows just in 30-minute segments? I feel that would be boring. An hour is the least, I feel. Nice one. These go much easier than I thought. At first I was thinking, oh, not sure if these will actually work. But they do. They actually do. Screw gates can go in the bin. What video has disappeared? I'm still here. Here's my next one. Next one's called Flenser, which is a female actor of some sorts. Did anybody else have dropped frames? Goodbye, Erskine. See? Must be a short glitch on Twitch side then. Or on yours. So, unless it's like it was with Annie earlier today, though she might have turned off the camera on purpose, I don't know. That was just Black talking. The void. The void was talking to us. And the void's name was Annie. Also, noise is usually what I would describe my rantings and ravings about all the hobbies. Now, glue! Tiny ships. Spaceships or ships of the watery kind? So basically boats. Space! Have you been affected by the Battlefleet Gothic space bug that John seems to suffer from currently? Biggest plus on spaceships is they don't need rigging, as far as I can tell. Unless you're playing Eldar, I guess. Those potentially have rigging. You've been through the Battlefleet Gothic phase, so 5 part 6 from home. The one with the weird scale, which Jerry always is ranting about. What's it called again? A Billion Suns. I'm not sure if that's because I cleaned them earlier today and they are might be still a wee bit wet, or if the seal cast is acting really well with the super glue, but these are bonded instantly. So basically those would be just the testing bottles, not real anything for release. Oh, just fancy. That's fair enough. I feel that's the best reason to paint any miniature. Just wanting to do them. Yes, I'm just realizing that, so I'm guessing these are actually Sirecast. If Jerry were here, I'm pretty sure he could tell without a doubt, but while I was cleaning them, I thought, this could be a very rubbery resin or Sirecast. I was not 100% sure. I think I had a Sirecast miniature in hand before once, but that felt different. I don't think Games Workshop would really ever try to go with dropper bottles, simply because they still really want to be noticed from 1,000 miles away, and having a distinct shape of bottle helps being noticed, I'd say. Unless the specially made bottles at some point get so expensive that they actually go the way of, now we now need to go and use what everybody else is using because we can't afford them to make them anymore. Those I've been had, I haven't ordered them. I do like the idea of what they're doing, and I really hope that these tiny little coats work as well as they seem to be. Though, given the fact it's actual cloth by the looks of it, I'd be careful with if they might not really go and stick well. But time will tell. People will try and tell us if they're not working, I guess. I think contrast paints do work with dropper bottles if you have a dry palette. If you don't use a palette of any description, yeah, then the Games Workshop pots are probably preferable to for speedy type paints. But as I said, I think the more important part to Games Workshop on this topic is probably, yeah, we want our paints to be recognizable from 100 yards away. Yeah, folding with the cloth could be an interesting thing, though. Since I've never had them in hand, they might actually have used a fabric that works best on a smaller scale. It is a neat idea, I feel. Now, you can't spill paint with dropper bottles, that is true, but I've seen more than one painter squeezing so hard that the bottle top comes off and everything goes everywhere, which is even worse, I feel. Almost halfway done. I feel lids themselves are an inherent problem with paint pots. But even dropper bottles have the tendency of getting clogged up at some point. So even dropper bottles will occasionally look very bad when you pull off the cap. And usually, the thing with, especially now, Army Painter paints, since they come with the agitator bolts inside, you really need to keep that in mind, that there's a massive ball inside your bottle, and if you tip it straight down, that ball will fall into the cavity where you are supposed to squeeze out paint. So never tilt them at a 90-degree angle, always keep them at a 45 or something. And if the nozzle is clogged, use a paper clip, for God's sake. Do not force the paint out. It's one of the few occasions where force actually will not help you in any way, shape, or form. It's like forcing a fart. It'll turn into shit. Ah, this works nice. La la la, super glue. La la. Oh, dropped it. Angry Jerry. Well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be angry about paint cups. I hope. But then again, we might need to ask him for his opinion on this subject. Any guesses by the audience how much Games Workshop contents will be on the next Weekender? I feel the previous one somehow really took the cake. And sometimes I really would like to see the click rates of articles and videos and what makes the audience go, yes, please, I like to see more of that. So this is the first cast where there's actually bad flash. Manageable. Yeah, but are they really still driven by Games Workshop content? That's the thing. I don't think Games Workshop Warhammer themes are still that highly click ratey like they have been 2-3 years ago. I mean, just look at the quote-unquote sales disaster that has been the Horus Heresy Saturnine box. That thing is dead on the shelf. So is this really a game people want to see videos about? Blob on super glue. I think that's partially true. Of course, Wayland Business Daddy will use OTT as a media outlet to promote certain stuff. Solpinet, isn't there some kind of weird Space Marine Captain promo figure going around again? Some kind of celebration thing, what you call it, anniversary edition? Space Marine Cap with Power Fist and limited quantities or something? Yeah, Primaris Lieutenant or such weird thingamajigs. I think I sang the praises too early. This is a bit... Special badges? Don't know anything about badges. Or badges. You might ask Ben for that. So, 50% done. They're suffering badly from FOMO and are just queuing in case. Also, if I remember correctly, if a store has an event for whatever reason, there might be a queue going on for that. Wer ist mit Drill? Who took my trailer? I mean, I get when people get FOMO, but FOMO for a box that's £200. I mean, no, that's nothing I can really understand. Looking at my pile of shame sitting in front of the weekender works just as well as FOMO. Isn't that basically the antidote to FOMO, Jill? Look, every time you start feeling the urge to buy more stuff, you just look at your pile of potential and go, maybe not. At least that's how it works for me most of the time. That's going back in time there. Demons Up last time. I waited outside my local games workshop. I had two 25% vouchers from White Dwarf, which I used for the 2 Realms of Chaos books back in the early 90s. Oh, Will, you ended up with what? I don't know what you're talking about. Really, I do not know what you're talking about. I still haven't really done anything with that. It's so shameful. Snip. 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 And snip. And away you go. I mean, let's face it, we might not have fallen for the same trap, but I think everybody currently watching this stream or the video later on has at some point in his hobby journey gone bonkers on something and then just didn't do anything with it. The odd thing is, most of the times I see new games, there's basically two reactions on my part. Either I'm really into it, or I'm not interested at all. With one exception, where the guys from Freebooters Fate, when they made the new game, the sci-fi one, which names Ascendant? Something? Name escapes me right now. I looked at that and I went, I've never been more indifferent to a game than with that. And I couldn't tell you why. Why did Twitch just welcome me to the chat room again? Huh. Soypin said still got 3 sets of the plastic castle that Warren and Justin were going to build. It's having some connection issues tonight. It was last night. Toyu? Be thankful for you not having time to buy new stuff and potentially spend way too much money on stuff you'll never use. I think that's the biggest thing that annoys me about our hobby. That we spend money with the intention of doing great things and then not doing anything. Oh, last night too. Oh, okay. Is that the already the UK version of age restriction control thingamajig? Age verification, that's the word I was looking for. I'm pretty sure if I could show you lot or let you lot listen in onto the music selection that's currently running, Jerry would highly appreciate that. Currently running now Jeremy Live from the MTV Unplugged Pearl Jam session from way back when. So far, Twitch doesn't care. Oh, that's good. I really wonder how that is going to affect anything or how they want to implement that. Good night. Divas up. Thanks for joining. I never was at any bring or buy, I think. Not a dedicated bring and buy. Maybe part of a convention or something, but not a dedicated bring and buy. $120 rectangular base. Oh. I'm pretty sure some company will make them with MDF. But to be fair, if you're already printing your Goblin mech, why not print the base as well? Contact Pendrake and they make it for you. Arm and head is needed. Oh, that's true. I forgot about the problem of warpage. If you have access to a laser cutter, just grab some MDF and make some that way. Shouldn't be too easy. If you don't have a laser cutter, just use a saw. Would be my way of approaching that. Dwarfs, hair, and birds. What about green? Neon green. Or purpley. Just do purpley beards. Or if you want a unit of Papa Smurfs, do them all in white. Well, dwarves are very close to base rim, so that almost counts as camouflage. Oh, you're going to be fancy with your bases then. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess you'll have to go with what Toros and Jill told. Why is there still so much beer in my glass? Purple heads, yes. Not yet, Dutch, not yet. The night is still young, things can still be happening. Let's squeeze some super glue in here. Tiniest of dots. Then we squeeze the arm in there. And then we wait. Champagne bases. That's a good idea. Next one, the Kyodai. Kyodai! Oh, that's the one with the devil's head. Now that sword is a bit meh. But heating didn't really help, so I'm just going to hope it won't be too obvious once it's painted. Yeah, this is again one of those where I will use only one peg. It's gel super glue, so it's not runny and I'm not risking touching it at any point in time. So I'm pretty sure that's... I'm going to be okay. Famous last words. Snip. I like that gel-like superglue very much. It works great when contact points are small or not very even, or if it's something where potentially a lot of glue is going to run everywhere. So you gotta be careful. If you use too much, it'll stay and it'll stick out. And I haven't bothered yet to trying to remove excess. So, go in there. This is woohoo. Costs about the same as the regular liquid Uhu super glue. And you really don't need much. Yes, Uhu super glue. Yeah, thin super glue is really one of those occasions where you can't stress enough. Handle with care. You will be carrying around pieces of miniatures for days. This sword is a bit silly. I think I'll try to rebend that again at some point. But not tonight. Wakagashira is the next one, which sounds like terrible sickness. I'm not sure. Are super glues available with brush applicators? I always thought those would be a terrible thing because the brush would also be glued together very quickly. Never seen those. Or might have seen them used by someone on YouTube and not realizing it's not plastic glue or plastic cement, but super glue. Ah, okay. So they do eventually go bad. I guess as long as they're submerged, they won't. The bristles won't come in contact with moisture or air as much, so that the glue can't start to set. Good night, Taurus. See you next week, hopefully. Oh, yeah, I see. If you got some kind of contamination in the glue, that's going to be a wee bit of a trouble. So I need these arms, but the different head. If there was a solvent for that resin, I think you'd be in for a world of hurt if that actually goes anywhere else. But if you're using UV curing resin, why not use UV curing resin glue? That should work nicely. And then again, you could just pin them and use super glue, which is potentially the most stable option anyway. I'm a big fan of pinning. So I have to say, in my early hobby years, I really hated pinning. Goodbye, Ravenna. Thanks for joining in. Now see if I can make this work. Ten o'clock local time. Current temperature in the room 27.4 degrees. Fucking hell. This is looking stupid. No, don't have a fan on because I literally have no space to put anything anywhere. So it would just sit somewhere on the floor, blowing air into a direction where I'm not sitting, basically being useless. But it's manageable. I have drink. Yeah, key joins, I think, is a good idea. Though I'm more a fan of ball socket joints. simply because that way you have more agency on how to pose your miniature if you want to go that way. But that's just my personal opinion. Because if you have a ball and socket joint, you still need to pin them at some point, potentially. If the arms appendages go too long or too heavy. But then again, people have been very crafty when it comes to make things work and stick together. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Yeah, I guess so. If you're doing test prints, do you try to go with high quality, or do you just go as fast as possible to see if things even work? Oh, by the way, this is the Ronin Assassin. Where's my... Woo! 2 arms with swords and a very interesting looking hat. Or head, what to say. Snip. Snip. Oh, well, I guess that will then add a lot of time if you print on high quality settings just to see if things fit. See, this is one of the reasons why I think 3D printing is not for me yet. It still takes way too long. When we arrive at the Star Trek replicator levels of 3D printing, I'm going to be one of those who then go and buy such a thing, but I don't think any day prior to that will see me spending money on one of those ones and zeros machines. You young kids with your ones and zeros. Or full color printing would be a nice addition, but I think I still do enjoy painting very much, so nah, I don't think I would need things to be painted. It would be an interesting addition, yeah. 7 hours total for a test print. Jeebus Christ. At that point in time, I'd be questioning myself. Or contemplating how to make these 3D prints master sculpts and then go to somebody to let them spin cast for me. But then again, Yes, to a degree. You still need to wait 2.5 hours. And if anything goes wrong, you have to redo it. I should have test fitted this. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. Oh no. Oh no. Why is this second to last miniature now fitting so badly? The others were so nice fits. And almost glued myself to the miniature. Ha! Crisis avoided. Yeah, of course the waiting time is still there, but you don't need to sit and babysit the apparatus that is making your miniatures. You just push the button buy, and then at some point in the future somebody will come along and bring you your toys. This didn't fit as nicely as the other miniatures, but I think I can save that with painting and putty. Last miniature of the day. This is the last one, Dutch. The final one. 12 minis within 80 minutes. I feel that's a nice, comfortable pace. And if I'm lucky and the weather is not too horrible the next coming days, I might be able to prime them prior to the weekend and maybe have some painted miniatures by the end of next week. He proclaims boldly, knowing full well this is going to go horribly wrong. Yes, I did wash them prior to the show, simply because I didn't want it to start cleaning already assembled models. I think that peg is a wee bit too long to go into the hole. At work, the highest temperature recorded was 26 degrees. And that still felt way too much. But then again, I have the possibility of going into the cellar to the server room and just cool down to an ambient of 18 degrees. But getting out again then becomes a completely different piece of a problem. Then you're in for temperature shock. Well, mini chores done. Let me just clean up. I wish I could, so I couldn't, but the server room has no seating, so I would need to stand all the time. Plus, when people want to talk to me, they go, "Oh, this is too loud, let's go outside." And the biggest negative on being in the server room is the coffee gets cold rapidly, which is not very nice. Yeah, but that's way too much hassle. My usual workplace is fine. It's got a fan too, so I'm not too worried. It's every time I need to go outside for traveling forth and back home again when temperature gets me. Oh, oh, almost made a mess. Go there. You live here. There. This belongs here. Close the lid. Oh. Clean up some space. Plastic filings all over the place. Now let's see. Where's my zoomy button? There's my zoomy button. Zoom a wee bit in. Not looking too shabby, I think. I like the designs. They're interesting. So I feel I messed up one or two heads positioning. Oh god, you have my highest sympathy for those working conditions. Wonky Goblin, why has the AC been condemned at work? I feel at certain temperatures those are mandatory. Oh, that's a shame. Though I feel your employer should replace a AC if possible. The weather is not getting colder. I do like the sculpts. They do actually really inspire some kind of me wanting to paint them, and maybe even having some kind of rough idea which way the colors could go, but I'm not going to be too sure about that right now. This one looks a bit odd because the head seems so tiny. But then again, maybe that's on purpose. Yeah, this one needs a lot of work. For some reason, the fitting of the arms didn't really go as planned. Now there's gaps sitting there. But I feel that can be fixed with the Vallejo plastic putty. Nice stuff. And now I need to... Where's the bags? I need the bags. Because I need to get the spare parts. For some reason, there's alternative arms and heads. And I'm guessing if you're playing with bigger faction armies, whatever, that actually might make sense of when having different options. Haven't read through the rules yet, so I can't tell. I'm just going by the manual. The assembly manual, that is. You go here. And you go here. A company making 30 million in profit is buying reconditioned air conditioning units. That's a fucking atrocity. So this is the instructions for the miniatures. Those are sufficient. These are the building instructions for the terrain, which are highly insufficient because, yeah, there's more terrain than just these. Neither, Jill. My thinking is he knows I like cyberpunk, and he's into it too, so he thought this would be a very nice gift for my birthday. And I don't think he is trying to coerce me into more miniatures gaming, because he knows I've got a lot of that, and he's more the board gamey RPG playing type. So let's see if these miniatures still fit within the designated space, or if this is now going to be a terrible thing. Tokens and tokens. Nobody ever complained again about Fantasy Flight games and tokens. These are not very much better by any stretch of the imagination. Looks like they fit into the box. Come here, you. You go there. You live here. Is there somebody? Ah, he's hiding. And the lady. You go there. And then we put some tokens on top so that you don't get crushed. Let's see, so there's some artwork. Okay. That can be useful as inspiration. Violet. Hmm? Now, Mr. Kebab. Don't scare the children. Oh, spare parts. Weird measuring things. Yeah, it's about half a mil higher now. And I'm not sure if it counts as a miniatures game. If it's a game in box. But it looks nice. It's mine! All mine! Now, before I put you back on camera, I need to put this away. And, where's your lot? There's your lot. Hello! And to be fair, the terrain needs to be dismantled before putting it back into the box. I looked up what this box costs. You must have spent a fortune on that Kickstarter, Dutch. The only complaint I'm currently having about the game is if you want to go to the website of Monster Fight Club and get the free PDFs with FAQs, erratas, etc., you need to order them. You don't need to put in any payment details, but you need to supply a address, which is why? If the PDF is free, just put it somewhere else for people to download. Yeah, stay indoors and don't talk to people. That's a very good suggestion. Yeah, Jill, I've seen some other companies do it as well. I mean, I get it. If you have a system that's easily adjustable for making your stuff be paid for, fine. Technically, a con is inside, and you didn't talk to people, you talked to other nerds. So, kinda. I think Wonky Goblin Hero Quest should fit, because that's a board game. Lovely people of the interwebs, I hope you have enjoyed the little banter we had in chat. I'm pretty sure this is not going to make a very good video for YouTube, but who cares? I don't. I enjoyed chatting with you people being here, and that's the main purpose of the show. And I hope to see you all next week again. Hopefully Jerry won't be having Walad or anybody else over in the studio. Fingers crossed that I get these done quickly so that I can have a game with my mate and enjoy the gift that has been gifted to me. With that said, I forgot what I was going to say. Teddy bye, goodbye. I lost my button. There it is.